All right, this is the Monday Night Men's Forum. I completely changed how things are numbered, so this isn't like 50 whatever or 60 whatever. This is episode 156 of the podcast. Number go up. I'm Matt of Form Hop Life. Tonight we got Jeremy and Grant left.
Yeah,
he was noisy and it would have pissed off all the audio people, anyways. Jeremy, it's been a while, man.
It has been a while. It been a lot going on.
Yeah.
Do
you want to talk about any of that?
I mean, where do I send the counseling bill? No, yeah, I don't mind. That. What's up, Grant? Welcome back.
Hey, I accidentally dropped the mic.
I thought you went to go fix your problem.
My problem was unplug everything and put it back together.
Didn't work.
Sounds the same. Sorry.
It doesn't sound bad to me. There's just a low hum in the background. Are you hearing more than that?
All right. How about that? Can we hear him now?
I don't hear.
Am I supposed to say something?
Yeah, kind of. I had the option to enable reduce mic background noise.
For me?
For you.
Okay, cool.
Well, it didn't work. So, anyways, Jeremy.
That's fine. Yeah. So I guess personal events, huh? Is that what we're starting?
Personal event. Yes, please.
Yeah. Mine was mine wasn't that great. Lost my dad 2 weeks before Christmas, and
sorry.
You know, I've shared some of that. I appreciate that. I've shared some of our struggles with him on here before. You know that he's had a stroke in 2012, and you know his quality of life wasn't very good. Yeah, but you're never ready for something like that. You're never ready.
No.
Even knowing that I believe that he is 1,000 times infinitely better now than he was when he was here on this earth. But still, you're never ready for that. And, you know, I've never struggled really with like depression. I know plenty of people that have close to me, but this has probably been about the closest that I've gotten. Like, it's just,
wow.
I mean, like it's I mean, some people look at it and go, well, that's just a case of the blues or just grief. And yeah, it is, but it just sucks, man.
Sure.
Like you don't want to do anything. Don't want to do anything. Don't got no motivation to do anything. You know, it's, there was one day I went outside. I was like, oh, my chickens don't have food or water. I should probably feed and water them. I mean, they're fine. They're all perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that. It's just like I haven't posted on TikTok. I did post a few little videos here and there, but like I got no motivation to do anything. You know, declutter and stuff like that. You know, we're working on some of that stuff, and I'm getting back into the swing of things, getting a little bit of motivation to get up and do things. But man, it's just, and of course, it's just this time of year too, like with shorter days. You know, less daylight, seasonal affective disorder. That's a real thing.
All that.
Yeah. So it's been a process, a grieving process, and it's not over. And it's, you know, it's I don't know, man. It's been a lot, but we're getting back.
Yeah, and I'll say this, you know, from doing, you know, hospice for my grandmother for 8 months after being a full-time caregiver for 2 years with her living with us for 6, it doesn't exactly get better. It just kind of, you hate it, because all those things you listed, I still have trouble with sometimes, even with doing all the stuff I'm doing. I'll say that, you know, ducks and chickens, that they have no water. I'm like, well, let's get over there and clean them, and it's just a lot of feet dragging.
It is
around, and
I mean, it's getting better, but you know, just that was December 11th, so we're about a month out.
Yeah,
and I would say that in the last, what's today, Monday, 3 to 4 days, I started to kind of get a sense of, okay, I can get a little bit of motivation to do some things now.
Yeah,
but I'm the one that's having to take care of shutting all this stuff down.
Hmm.
I was his power of attorney. I had control of everything, what little he had left, and it put things into perspective. And I think that's probably my biggest takeaway throughout this whole thing has been a shift in my perspective. I focused way too much on my job and not enough on my family. And so like I was like, you know what? 4:30, 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm done. I say that and I worked until 6 tonight because I was on a meeting. But it's I'm going to be there for the basketball games. There's been several days that I just stopped in the middle of the day and I go outside and play basketball in the sun. Like it's just
Nice.
There's not a whole lot here that matters other than me and the people that live in this house.
You were already like we chatted privately towards the end of the year, and you were already like experiencing a lot of burnout then.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lost your dad.
Yeah.
And then it just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I tanked. I mean, and I'm fine. Like seriously, like I'm fine. Like I've seen people that have lost loved ones and they've gone through some serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I'm usually a pretty happy-go-lucky person. For the most part, I don't deal with that stuff usually, but this got me. But
of course,
I'm getting back to it. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there was some burnout there towards the end of the year, and this just kind of exacerbated it. So, and hopefully I'll get back. I've got a couple product videos that I have to shoot for some people, and it's like they reached out to me, and I'm like, sorry.
Product videos.
Oh, I mean, like they send me like something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we'll send you a freebie if you'll shoot a video. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try it out and let you know what I think.
Yeah.
If I can't back it up, then I'll tell them, hey, look, I don't support this product, and I can send it back to you, or I can do an honest review. Take your pick.
There's a lot of people that like, yeah, you can send me something, but I'm gonna give it an honest review. And if you don't want me to do that, then don't send me anything. Those are my conditions. Yeah.
Yep. But like I haven't even gotten around to shooting that. I have to because we're dipping into the teens next week. One of these is a heater for the chicken coop, which chickens are fine down to 25, 30 degrees. As long as you give them a place out of the elements, they're fine.
Sure.
But 15 degrees, I'm like, yeah, I'll throw a heater in there for you.
Yeah, I just picked up a heated dog bowl for my chickens because
I've got one.
All my other things have not been working. Like I've got little stock tank heaters; those have sucked. I'm going dog bowl.
Heated. I bought one last year.
I just got the extended warranty through Tractor Supply because I'm like, my biggest thing is it's made out of plastic, and so I'm like, you're telling me if this plastic cracks, you're going to replace it? They're like, yep. I'm like, you're going to lose money on this.
I think I got mine off like Amazon or something, but they were like $40 or $50, and
mine was 30. Yeah,
it was. It might. I don't know what mine was, but it wasn't that much. But game changer when it was 7 degrees last year. I'd go out there and the water. It was cold. The water was cold, but it was not frozen.
It's supposed to be -20 here on Friday, so.
Oh, I will take my 15 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
I don't know how you do love it.
I do. I genuinely love the winter. It is a great time of year. I step outside and I just love that cold air in my lungs. I love it.
I can't even take a breath in that cold air.
Well,
I respect the winter.
In the hot, humid air down there, I feel like I'm going to choke just taking a breath.
I love it.
Straw.
I love it. I love choking. I love choking while breathing.
Clip him.
Oh man.
But yeah.
All right. Enough of my personal events.
You know what I think it is on Grant's side? I think he doesn't have the right microphone selected in the settings. I think that's what it is.
Okay. How?
Figure it out. You got to go settings, audio, and then microphone instead of default whatever. You got to pick your
I
microphone.
don't know. He got real quiet though. Oh, because he's changing microphones.
Yeah, probably.
Hey,
I
that
think it
helm's
sounds
not there
better.
anymore.
Hello.
Whoa.
Is that it? Okay.
Oh my gosh,
You
that was
were right.
brutal.
You were. Is that too loud?
No, that was great. I love it.
Okay.
I love getting
All
excited
right.
about fixing microphones.
Okay. It was
That's
on
right.
my
You're a
microphone.
sound guy, aren't you?
It was on my webcam, which is behind my computer screen.
Yep.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Hey, let me put this microphone downstairs and see if you guys can hear me. All right, Grant, personally better.
Okay. First of all, Jeremy, what you had said about taking advantage of those little moments, like stop that touched me because that's something that I feel like sometimes I didn't take enough advantage of with my grandparents, and that I still regret, even though it's rough when you're having to live with somebody and fully take care of them in ways that a grandson's not exactly supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like sometimes I could have done better, but
You always can, and you can't beat yourself up about it. But
yeah, you can't. But it's
learn from it.
yeah, it's I feel like one thing that I might have wished is I wasn't in the room when she had passed.
Mm.
Because it's like just hearing those the
Those
last
last moments,
breath
yeah.
is rough. It's just rough.
And see, on the flip side of that, nobody was there when my dad died.
Oh man,
he was in a hospital ER.
Mm.
And
Was he asleep?
No, they called us on they called me on Monday morning at like 9:45 and said, "Hey, your dad's acting kind of off, like he's not making any sense, and we think that he has another UTI, so we're going to send him back to the ER just as a precaution." So, all right, that sounds good. And she said, I'd go in there, and the nurse had gone in there to talk to him, and he would just a bunch of jumbled words, couldn't say anything. But all she could make out was Jeremy, 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 and then went to the ER. I tried calling him, he didn't answer, and I got a call back from the hospital that he had died in the ER, but nobody was there. So, like for me, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe if I was on that side of it, I would have wished I wasn't there. You just never know.
Yeah, it's they had given her morphine, and she had a room full of people, but it's like 5 days beforehand she was awake. She was fixing to jump out of the bed, and that's typically when they feel the best. That's when that's like their chance to say goodbyes. And then the same thing with my uncle who had like throat cancer. He was awake. He was awake for 12 hours straight, like nothing ever happened. And then the next morning he had passed. Yeah, let's move on from the sadness. But
yeah,
please. I have been busy. I got 3 greenhouses, a cow. We closed on the farm. I got 2 puppies. I've been camping in a canvas tent, and I got a job.
Man, it's been a minute since I've talked to you. That's all happened.
It's been about a month.
A month? That all happened in a month?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you turned your notifications back on Telegram, you'd know all this.
Right.
I turned those notifications. There was, I don't remember what conversation it was, but it was
just
about
like bug out bags. Yeah.
That was it. Bzz,
yep.
Bzz, 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 like mute.
I'm not gonna lie, mine's muted too. I just have to check it every couple hours.
Cow.
I forgot to check it. I actually checked it this morning, but I was like, I'm not reading all that.
I got the cow December 14th. Got the greenhouses.
What kind of cow?
She is a Scottish Highland Hereford cross. So,
oh wow, okay,
not a bad cross. I feel like she's gonna be a pretty decent cow. She's like 2-ish. No,
meat.
I'm gonna cross her with like a South Pole bull, and then have her Teddy Ginger.
Do those like
South Pole
South Pole elf? Like are they the angry ones?
Teddy Gentry basically created the breed out of like 400 different heifers, and then he had enough money to throw at it. He made it a stable breed. I think he was like the bassist in Alabama or something, like the band. Check it out. It's a good.
What?
It's a dude. I'm not joking, but it's a fantastic cow breed that is meant to be a grass raised, grass finished, full on beef cow. And then I got the greenhouses December 16th, and then I met up with. Then we closed on the farm. Then I met up with Padre December 27th and got 2 puppies. And then I set up my canvas tent like the day before Christmas, and then or the day after Christmas, whatever. And then I camped last weekend. Then I got a job this Monday. Today was my first day. I got interviewed last week.
So what are you doing now?
I work at Pike Nursery Greenhouses with Destiny.
Destiny?
Destiny. Yeah, I work with her there. I am in production. I went in as lead production assistant. So I came in second in charge of like 9 people. And it
On
is
your first day.
It is so fun to tell someone on your just to go pick up a broom and start sweeping.
Oh, it's a really nice feeling.
It is so fun, bro. She asked me, said, "What are we supposed to be doing?" And I looked at her, says, "What do you normally do at 3:37 in the afternoon before we leave?" I don't know, sweep and clean up. Okay, let's grab a broom.
I do remember, like the moment, and then mine's an office position, but like when I was the grunt and I was the one that had to do everything, everybody told me to do everything, and it just infuriated me. I hated it so much. And now to be able, and I don't pass everything off on everybody else, but to be able to say, "Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" It's a relief to not have to do it all myself.
Yeah, like I was still working all day long. It's like, but it's just like there's a lot of us for 6 people to be sitting around twiddling their thumbs. Let's do something.
Yeah.
But I got trained on a machine. I actually go check out the video. It's an $80,000 machine. It is a sticker machine. It's in the Telegram. It will put stickers and labels on pots, and then those pots get put on a conveyor belt where the conveyor belt puts dirt in them, rakes off the dirt, and then goes into an automatic plug machine that picks up, robot hands pick up the plugs and then put them in the pots. And that's the machine I'm going to be running.
So did you post this video?
Are you trying to break
TikTok?
it? Are you trying to break it on purpose so that they throw it in the trash and then you can just take it out of the trash and put it in your greenhouse?
It's totally what he would do.
No.
Oh man, it looks like this thing's junk. That's weird. Well, I guess I'll just take it to the dump for you guys.
All I gotta do is wait 6 more months because they haven't maintenanced it. It's dirty, it's like dusty. The maintenance department there has not touched it, replaced anything. Like it needs new brushes on it that help, put the stickers on. And how hard is it to buy and replace, what is essentially just a scrub brush? But this is the same company where you have to ask to use duct tape because they're on a budget. I'm like, yeah, it's a corporate. It's a corporate.
Surprised they didn't have to fire somebody just to hire you.
Actually, well, the reason they started hiring me is because the plant manager's boss started telling him to stop shutting down production, because they would shut down production because they're short people. They just don't have enough physical bodies to get the work done.
Oh, like short as in like the number of people, not that they are short people.
No, they're not short people. They just don't have enough people.
My name's Grant. I'm 6 foot tall. Is that enough?
Look, it is a plant full of women. There's only 2 guys
Careful.
I work with. In our back, and there used to not be but 2 guys. I think when Destiny started, and now there's a lot more. But I'm like, goodness gracious! I just don't talk. I didn't say anything today other than make fun of people.
You didn't talk?
No, not much. I just
I call BS on that.
I really tried not to. I don't. There's so much unnecessary drama that I just stood there listening all day. Like these two women just whisper under their breath. I'd go look at this thing just to see what they were talking about. I'm like, oh, it is hilarious. There's just so much unnecessary
How
drama.
old are these women? Just out of curiosity. And then we're
40s to
gonna move on.
60s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Your turn, Matt.
I also met up with Homestead Padre before Grant actually just put that in the record. And
I got 2 puppies though.
he offered them to me first. He's like, "You want to take them home with you?" I'm like, I can't. So you got sloppy seconds on both things.
I feel
on
like
Padre
he
and the puppies.
offered them to me first.
I think he offers
they
them
were
to
born.
everybody who drives by his house.
And Grant just can't say no when somebody gives him something for free.
I'm sorry, I
That's
cannot
right.
say no to $800 in free puppies. You know,
Yeah.
they eat a crap ton of food, but if I was to go buy a livestock
Excuse
dog,
me, this is my turn.
they're
Let's
very
not talk
good
about
dogs.
the dogs
Padre did a fantastic
that I didn't
job.
want. This weekend we grinded up all the meat from my deer, mixed it, and made breakfast sausage and then hamburger meat. So we grinded up with some pork, some ground pork already, instead of just pork fat, just that pork that contains pork fat. And this morning I just felt like murdering a chicken, so I have one less chicken.
Was it a bad egg layer?
I got 3 less.
So
Roosters?
so here's what happened.
Mine were roosters though.
Back in June, we got a straight run of 25 Rhode Island Reds, knowing that 50 to 60% of them are going to be roosters. Like, cool. They should have started laying around Halloween. They haven't, because I'm bad at timing, and like we're going into the dark period, and so we still have 0 eggs. And so I had kept what I thought was 1 rooster, and all the other ones were like of size to, go get meat off of. And we actually ate one last night. It was fine. Decent amount of meat, like no breast though. It was like all leg. And so I was out, like I had all last week off. I was home, and I'm working in the backyard, and I hear burr, 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 like they're crowing to each other. I'm like, oh damn it, I got at least 2 roosters. And so that means I have 10 hens to 2 roosters. Not terrible, but that could be an issue in the laying and whatnot if there's too many roosters. And so this morning there was, I also have one that like likes to crow when it sees a light turn on at night. So it's kind of stupid. And I'm trying to like supplement with light also. And so this morning, it was actually not fun whatsoever. It was kind of brutal. And I told the coworker what I did this morning. He was like laughing his ass off at how brutal it was.
I can't wait.
There was the one that was just crowing. I'm like, well, I can see it. Like that one, definitely a rooster. I'm watching you. Like you're the guy. I'm blaming you. You're noisy. I'm taking you out. And so I like tried to calmly kind of corner him, and he was kind of going this way and that way. And I finally like got him to a corner, and he started to freak out. And so I picked up a stick. I stunned him in the head.
Chickens are so fragile when you hit them and stuff.
That got him down, and I picked him up, and I went to go take him to my chopping block. And I already had a machete right there. I hold them down, and I swing, and I broke the machete. Like the blade snapped, and just I didn't get hit or nothing. So I'm like, oh, I got this bird that has like half a neck. Like now I got to finish it.
Just smack
And
his
I'm
head
like
on the wall.
looking around. I pick up a shovel and ching 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 ching.
My gosh, you're a bad
It
murderer.
was not
All
good.
right.
He's still laying out there. I got to fix that.
Have I told
No, you don't. Something
my
else will come get
rooster
him.
story?
I just need it away from all the other chickens.
Are the other chickens secure?
I've been leaving the door open at night.
Yeah.
No, so no, they're not secure. But nothing's come to eat them. Even the coyotes don't want them.
Was it 10 o'clock there? Yeah.
8.
Oh, you're an hour behind. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Grant's an hour ahead.
All right. So really quick, I want to go through a couple of headlines from last year because last year was nuts. And I feel like I forgot about almost all of these until I was like listening to another recap and like, oh yeah, that was last year. It feels like that was like 5 years ago. All right. You guys ready? If you want to make a comment, that's fine.
Okay. Let's go.
February 3rd, the train derails in East Palestine.
That was
The next day, February 4th, U.S. shoots down Chinese spy balloon. March 12th, it was the Silicon Valley Bank thing.
Mhm. I thought that was
February,
going to be the. I thought that was the tipping point.
Right.
I thought it
Yep.
was good.
Yep.
Right.
February 20th. Oh, apparently this is out of order. You need me to pause?
I mean, I was gonna say the whole you may, if you want to look into it that way, but the whole chemical spill in East Palestine, Pennsylvania, is that what had happened? Ohio, and now what's going on over there?
What is happening out there right now?
Like in Palestine, the over there Palestine.
Oh, the other
like,
yeah.
Palestine.
The real
Israel.
one.
East
Palestine.
Palestine versus
Yeah.
Palestine. Sure.
Okay, I'm sure it's spelled the same.
It is. That's why I wanted to say Palestine so bad. I guess February 20th, Biden made a visit to Kiev. I still don't really know how to say it. An active war zone, which is kind of weird. March 30th, Donald Trump becomes the first former president indicted for a crime. May 5th, COVID-19 no longer considered a global health emergency. May 11th, Title 42 expires as the federal government tries to handle migration. I think that was like the border thing. I don't remember.
That's when the border just the floodgates
Just-
opened up.
Yeah.
Yep.
May 16th,
Had to slow down.
60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate went missing, triggering 4 separate investigations.
How did I miss that one?
It was on a train somewhere between, I think, California and Wyoming. Let's see. Okay. The explosive chemical went missing during a train ride somewhere between Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the Mojave Desert. Let's see. June 8th, former President Trump indicted again, this time in federal court. I can't remember which one was his mugshot. I think that happened in August.
That happened in Atlanta.
June 18th, Titan submersible goes missing, likely implodes near Titanic. July 25th, interest rates jumped to highest levels in 22 years. July 27th, U.S. recovered non-human biologics from UFO crash sites. August 8th, wildfires in Hawaii.
Now I want to know whatever came of that. Like,
They're probably just Nephilims. like what happened in Miami.
September 6th, summer 2023 declared hottest on record. September 14th, Hunter Biden charged by federal grand jury. September 29th, Senator Dianne Feinstein, longest serving woman senator, dies at 90. October 7th, Hamas launches terrorist attack, blah, blah, blah. October 25th, gunman kills 19 in Lewiston, Maine. And, 2 more. November 14th, Xi and Biden meet in California for the, I don't know,
that's
whatever.
right. They cleaned up like San Francisco or San whatever.
It was the greatest thing to happen to San Francisco in a long time.
Yeah, they just meat grounded all the homeless people.
And then December 12th, I couldn't find anything good for this month. And so the COP28 at the United Arab Emirates for the United Nations Climate Change Conference. That's 2023 in a nutshell.
The train derailment seems like a lot longer.
It does,
right?
doesn't it?
And the spy balloon.
Yeah, and I still think the residual impact of that train derailment is going to be
Decades.
generations.
Yes. It will probably 100 years from
that's
now
the-
still cause a problem.
Mhm.
The thing, though, is what it's going to do all the way down the Mississippi River. If it 'cause
Exactly.
pretty much everything, no matter what body of water it is, connects to the Mississippi River. And if you look at a lifespan map of the states that it flows through, they're like 5 to 10 years less than every other state. Specifically, the closer you get to the river, the life expectancy drops.
The closer you are to the Mississippi, the life expectancy drops.
Yes,
I've
it's
never heard
lower.
that.
No, I've never
I
heard
can-
that.
I posted it in the Telegram and then added Padre because it was like Mississippi was like deep dark red. It was like 10. I think it was like 10 years lower than the national
Oh
average.
gosh. So all that bullshit that happened last year aside, did you guys hit your goals that you had for 2023?
Bro, I like
What?
flew past them.
You flew past them,
I
like in a
flew
good way.
past them. Yeah,
All right.
like hey, I didn't when I started this year in January. I did not think I'd finish it with a cow, 2 dozen goats, a bunch of chickens.
No. What happened is that you drug your feet all year, and the last 2 weeks of the year, you go, I got to make
Sprinted.
up for it.
You were walking the
wrong. I'm not
marathon
wrong,
and then
am I?
sprinted
You're
the
not-
last
You're
100
not
yards.
wrong, but it was good. I was busy with school, and the farm finally closed.
That's huge.
That took a lot longer
is
than it
big.
should had, and
I think
a
you're just
whole lot.
antsy and you don't have any patience.
That's-
Okay, we
Yeah.
started this process in March, and
Yep.
we didn't. Yeah, it should not have taken that long.
Mm-hmm. It never should take that long, but it always does.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
mean,
know. for next
I
time.
got better
Welcome to
towards the
adulthood.
end. I got much better towards the end. Learned a lesson in patience. Forgot it, and then moved on. So, I mean, so I'm still debating on getting 7 more cows and 8 sheep.
How
Yeah.
many acres you have?
13.
Good luck.
So are you getting that
Okay,
like
it's
this
13
Friday or
connected to 27 with permission to use another 12.
Okay.
But
There you
the cows, they're Dexters, so they're small frame cows. They don't need as much acreage,
Mm.
and the
Can I put
property.
one on 1/3 of an acre?
Yes, you could use her as like a dairy cow. They're dual purpose. They're meat and dairy. But the guy wants $3,500 for 7 cows and 8 sheep, and one is a full sized Angus, Angus Holstein cross, and then her son, and then 5 Dexters, and then 8 sheep. So I'm like, I need to fence off 1 more acre so they can kind of hold their time till everything opens up in spring, because the pastures it's January and the pastures still look incredible. And there's 7 acres across the creek that have to get tamed. It's covered in privet. There's, probably 100
What
trees
happened to
that
all
have
your
to come
goats?
down.
Send them out there.
I've sold like half of them. And then
So you still got half. Send your goats out there. They'll clear it.
well, see, the thing is I can just do both.
the optimist? A glass half full of goats or a glass half empty of
Well,
goats?
I still ended the year with more goats than I started, and I've bought 9 more that I've got to pick up. But I've
Where
just
you
kind of
putting all this stuff, man.
You just wall
13
tent.
acres. So I've only got 7 goats at the house. I sold 4 last weekend. Buying 9 more, and then I'm gonna sell 4 of those. Then I've got 7 at the farm with the cow. So
Yeah.
it'd be some very intense animal pressure on like 2 acres of the farm, but then once we get it set up to do multi-paddock rotational grazing, where we're moving them every day on stockpile,
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be any problem at all.
Yep.
And then even if we have to
lot of
supplement
work.
hay, even if you have to supplement hay, I have no problem supplementing hay because the only thing that does is you get good quality hay. Is it just they just put it back into your soil? Yeah, it's basically you're paying for pasture and soil amenities, and I'm okay with that for short term purposes. Now, if this is to look at it from a self sustaining purpose, shit goes down tomorrow, you have to thin out your herd by half, or
You just eat good for a while.
or just kind of move into your neighbor's pasture. So, yeah, it's a process, but to get the property under control, you're gonna need a high density animal pressure on so much of it, just to get it tame before we can even get to proper rotation grazing.
What about you, Jeremy?
What's that?
Goals.
I've learned that in life, if you don't set any goals, then you're never disappointed.
Right? And that was this year for me.
So we didn't really set any major goals. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. It just is what it is.
What about for the next year?
Let me talk about last year first, man. That's my turn.
Yeah, shut up, Grant.
So there I think I've talked to y'all about this before, that there's some property down the road, that a house that's there, it's a couple acres, and we had looked at trying to buy that property. And the guy that was selling it, he basically gave us first right of refusal. And so there's been a lot of we don't want to put too much effort into where we are now, knowing that we're going to possibly move. And we got notice Saturday that he wants about $100,000 more than I'm willing to pay for it. So, nope.
Yep.
So that kind of readjusted my perspective on what long-term goals are. Probably stay here a lot longer than I wanted to, and kind of figure out what is, find an end goal, acreage, put a house in the middle of it, and whether we use all the acreage or not, I've got it. So that means that we'll probably be here a little bit longer. So all that said is this past year, I didn't put a whole lot of effort into, especially I guess the second part of this past year. I put a lot of effort into the gardening to begin with. We ended up on vacation and plants didn't do really well. We didn't can as much as we wanted to. There's just a lot. This past year was not a great year. Just honestly wasn't. So this next year, I want to do better with the garden for sure. But again, it's still trying to figure out what is our long-term goal, and it's not to be here. And so how much time and effort do I put into this property, knowing that that's not the long-term goal? Now, I want to have, I've told you all about the 3 acres that we've got down the road that we could build there if we wanted to, but ideally I'd like to have more than 3 acres. We could build there, live there, and then buy another property further down the road. I mean, timeline down the road if we wanted to later on. But, I could invest time now fixing up that property until we could build on that property if I wanted. So I'm trying to kind of think through all of that. This has all changed within the last week because I thought that we were going to be about 200 yards down the road. And it's not going to happen. So a project that I do want to do this year, though, not related to, well, it's kind of related to food, is I've got 2 freezers full of meat. And you start looking at just the vulnerability of our grid.
You going to dry can it?
Nope.
In a pressure cooker?
Let him just say it. God damn it.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Then I'm going to drag this out even longer.
Oh my gosh.
I want to build a solar backup.
Oh.
A solar backup. so that I can run my
Frank sounds
freezers.
so disappointed.
He does. He so does.
I thought you gave me like
Um,
a whole smokehouse.
Yeah, I mean, I could can. There's some canned meat somewhere back right in there. I can can it,
you were gonna, run away, live off grid.
but
Okay, building a smokehouse is different than being off grid and smoking.
so I ran some numbers though, and I can off of 300 watts of solar run one freezer.
Yep.
They do not take as nearly as much energy as I thought that they did. And so I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty cool project that I could probably knock out for less than $1,000.
Yeah.
Is to
kinda
build a
dip your
solar.
toe into solar.
Well, I mean, like really, like, do I care if it goes out? Like, I don't care about computer monitors. I don't care about
Right.
cell phone charging cell phones and lights so much. Like, what I care about is being able to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got a solar backup that that keeps your 2 freezers and your refrigerator online, so that your food can at least stay good.
And not just the current food you have, but the future food you may procure.
That's right.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it like that. Most people.
I've got generators, but
dip into solar.
fuel runs out.
Well, even after 2 years, if there's no more gas, that fuel is bad anyway.
But solar's, I mean, it's renewable. I mean, until your batteries quit holding charges, but
those got 10, 20 years depending.
Right.
Yeah.
Depending on what you get. So that's, my thought is to, there's some things around this place that we need to fix up that I was kind of debating on how do I fix them up? What kind of effort and money do I put into fixing them up? So do some things like that. And then I want to build a backup. There's a dedicated solar backup for freezers and my security system, cameras, security system, which, by the way, draws more power than my 2 freezers. that blew my mind. Yeah, but see, I've got a PoE switch, power over Ethernet switch, and it's pulling a solid 100 watts consistently. That's not including the computer. So there's probably about 150 to 200 watts that my security system would pull. Whereas the freezers
are you running on like a kilowatt meter reader?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how you're finding this out? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I was blown away. My freezer, about 800 watt hours a day. So you consider 4 hours of good sunlight in Alabama. I mean, you get more than that typically, but let's just be conservative. About 300 watts solar is sufficient.
Yeah, that could be a fun project. Are you going to build it so that you can expand it later?
I don't know. I got to think through all that.
Because I think the biggest expense is like the batteries, right? So you're going to build out your battery bank and then add panels as you want to increase your input.
So I would build it to support the 2 freezers first and foremost. So we're looking at 600 watts in solar and then about 6 batteries. I think 5 or 6 batteries is what I came up with. And so I would expand. If I buy another solar panel, I'd buy another battery or vice versa. I mean, figure out what the usage is. I mean, and if I add if I put the security system on there, see what kind of draw it's got. But it's in the very early stages of thinking about some of that. But that's a project that I want to try to undertake this year.
I thought about buying a bunch of batteries and having them for just preliminary, like just buy the batteries, put them on a charger, and so like I can just flip a switch and have it feed my house through an inverter.
But that runs out
eventually. And then, well, yeah, but like, do the panels in time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what do you do for what comes first, the panel or the battery? And I think you kind of have to buy them both at the same time and just expand out, because one's no good without the other, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess technically, if you think about it, you could probably, from a freezer standpoint, you could run it during the day and it would not run at night. But that's not realistic. Yeah, you're not gonna.
Yep.
It'll hold its temperature for a while, but not cold enough. You'll
Several
spoil
hours.
food.
Yeah.
And it might cost more energy to cool it back down
That's right.
than it would be
That's right.
than you would
I
say.
heard you got to like put like moving blankets or some sort of insulated blanket on top of it, like and around it to hold that cold in better.
Yeah, I may have heard that. But
Throw a couple
Yeah,
mattresses around it.
some bats of insulation.
Just bury your
Yeah,
freezer.
just duct tape. Actually, I just saw a video. Somebody did that.
Yeah. They used the old out of commission, this one I saw anyway, an old out of commission freezer. They buried it in the ground and used it as a cold cellar or a root
Yep.
cellar.
I have seen that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now just do that, but with
A
freezer
house.
that- yes.
So so
Bury your
that's
camper.
my project list for this year. Is I want to get that done. I want to get some things taken care of around the house, expand the garden a little bit. I want to grow some more loofah this year. I didn't grow loofah last year.
Dude, I grew the seeds you gave me did fantastic. I started them in January, and
I got to start mine here in the next couple of weeks.
I don't even know how I'm gonna do them. I
But
don't even know if
like
I'm gonna garden
I
this year.
didn't use them that first year, and I was like, man, these things are really really good for like scrubbing cast iron or they soap and I don't know.
I've never
they work
used them
out.
to clean with. I bet those work great.
What do you use them for?
then?
I mean, I use them in the shower, but I don't use them on like cast iron. I wouldn't think to use them on a
Oh,
cast iron.
dude, cast
skillet.
iron's amazing because it's not abrasive.
Yeah,
It's
but
abrasive enough to get the stuff,
Yeah,
anything
it's
that's
not like
on
the
there.
chainmail because sometimes the chainmail stuff will scratch off the seasoning.
It made it sound like you collected loofah just because you like it and like didn't use
You
it.
did. But that's everything.
Listen,
Chris.
there's
Come on.
actually there are 3 or 4 different types of loofah. If you look at the color pattern on the gourd, there's like a solid deep green. There's like a light green with like dots on it. Never mind.
Matt, what was your goal?
Well, because I talk about it all the time, the 2023 project didn't do so good. I wouldn't say it was a failure. I did one locally, like it was pretty much how I wanted it to go. I did some work. I did the interview and I got a tour. Put out content based on that. It was pretty good. But that was the only one I did last year. I went and met up with a Twitter friend up in northern Montana. I almost disclosed the location. I was up in northern Montana for the weekend with the family, and we did a couple things, not a lot. It was just like kind of like bad timing for them, it turns out. And so that kind of felt like we didn't help out enough. And they're pretty private people. And so like, hey, if you like, don't take any pictures facing that way because this is like a recognizable landmark that people could
Identify them.
find us. And I was like, all right, it's your place. I understand. And so I ended up posting almost nothing. I think I took like a couple pictures of some cows and that was it. We're supposed to go back this spring though, and actually like have like a work weekend type up there. And then, met up with Padre and I thought about like, doing like a tour, recording it, conversation. And I just like left all that crap behind and just wanted to shake his hand and talk to him for a couple hours and have him show me around. And I'm glad I did that instead of like try to make it like a thing.
There's something to be said for that. For sure. Yeah.
So-
There was some video I saw the other day of everybody watching the ball drop in Paris or something. And everybody has their phones out recording it. And it's like there was just one couple over here making out as the ball drops or whatever happens in Paris. And like they were clearly enjoying it. Everybody else. Oh wait, the dude, he still had his phone up while they were making out. That's what it was.
Good.
But I mean, like,
What a creep.
but like people just sit there and record everything and
Yeah.
instead of just enjoy the moment.
And the mockery, like there's like a lot of like mockery of like podcasts and like podcasters and stuff. Like I heard one the other day like these two guys like, oh dude, we have such good conversations, you should just record them and upload it. I'm like, damn it. That kind of
That's kind of what we're doing
that
here.
stings a little bit. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave that shit behind. Just talk to, like, instead of like being focused on is this good content, just fucking talk to them. So but
That could have been a smasher 4-hour podcast.
it could have been a what?
A smasher of a 4-hour
A
podcast.
smasher? Is this a Gen Z like
No, I'm just
lingo
retarded.
thing? Oh well.
Can't say
Sounds
that
like-
word.
No, it's okay if you are.
Well.
It's like the other word
It's
we
my
can't say.
word. That's my word.
And what other word are you talking about, Matt?
So here's my plans for 2024. So I shared this in the Telegram chat. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
taking
was
this-
going to ask you about this.
I
did pay attention to this.
Hey, thanks for paying attention to me. That must be your
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh yes. Okay.
So this is a layout around my house that I'm taking this course to try to like figure out a couple things. And so here's my wind rows. And so I get a lot of wind from the west southwest. And it just so happens that my property is facing like west southwest. And so I'm going to put these rows of windbreak right here, and everything's going to be behind it. Now I'll have a food forest around here, future garage, future pond, current chicken coop, raised beds, rec area. This
And you
year's
still got
like
half
that.
your property left.
Yes, just ask. What's he gonna do with the front part?
You mean over here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be like zone 4 or zone 5. I'm not going to. So like there's like some ravines here that you just can't do anything with. It's more like a gulch or little gully type thing. This isn't very usable. But
put
Okay.
a pond in down there.
I've got the road. No, it's not worth it. It's at this is like the low side of the property. So like the pond would be up here.
I mean, okay.
But I can get all this runoff from the road too. So
Yeah, and make you a pond down
At the
there that you
bottom,
can
at
fish
the
in.
low point.
I know if you put the pond, I know if you put the pond down at the bottom, you can't get the water to water your crops and all that.
Right. I get what
Unless you do.
I'll just say that I am near water without like doxing myself. I am near water, but I can't get water rights.
Is that a west an out west thing?
Yes. Because
water
rights
got there.
yeah, so that's why I implemented like a bunch of water catchment late last year, hoping to capitalize on it this year. And then if we end up building that garage, that's all more roof that I'll collect the rainwater and divert it to the pond.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like kind of push water on to that side of the property because it naturally wants to come to the other side of the property.
Okay, that makes sense. I get you now.
Yeah.
So your course that you're taking.
Yep.
Are you happy with it?
So far, I mean, it's cheap. It's like $200 to kind of walk you through all these steps to like analyze like their solar patterns and wind patterns. I submit my homework. It's like self-paced, right?
Mm-hmm.
I submit my homework and the guy sends me some feedback. I'm gonna ask him if we can like actually have like he's based in like Croatia or something like that, who made this course.
Does he speak good English? Because you could just invite him to the podcast.
I think I do. I might workshop this plan like as an episode or something like that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So is it worth it? I mean, because I may do the same thing with the farm property. Because again, that's 13 to 40 acres of basically untouched space that I have that I have been kind of struggling how to lay it out.
I think you would benefit from it because
it's a lot of space.
you also it helps like compartmentalize things,
Yeah.
and because you're a little bit more in tune with your property than I am, because I'm just like I got dirt and rocks here. I don't know what kind of dirt it is, but it's just like dirt, very little topsoil. But like you're like, oh, it's loamy but kind of sandy over here, and like you would have a little bit better idea of the composition of the soil.
We're just
Speaking of soil composition, so I sent off soil samples to Auburn University a couple years ago. It's like $7 or $27, something like it. It's cheap.
Yeah,
and they will analyze your soil and tell you everything about your soil. All you can do is just put it in the bag, mail it to them, and you get a response from them within a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Just it's a very cheap resource, but to help you understand what your soil composition is.
Yeah,
pretty much. Reach out to your
additives
local
you
extension
need.
offices.
Yeah, you the same, but
like mine's UGA.
Yeah. Another part of my plan is buying native grass seeds and broadcast seeding a lot of the property so that I have natural forage for livestock in the future. And I've kind of I thought we were going to get goats this year, but with my work, like when I am away, obviously my wife has to take care of the goats, and we also want to go on vacation. So we have to find somebody else who has to take care of goats. And it would just be a lot. So I'm trying to set the ground, like lay the groundwork so that we're set up for success with
when you get it.
With feeding those animals and not have to have a lot of input. So,
what I would suggest, and I will message this to you, is patgoats.com. Check him out on YouTube.
Yeah, I watch his stuff.
Yeah, he's in your region, and
he's in Idaho, and his stuff is very expensive. I want unregistered stuff.
No. Yeah, don't get registered stock. I would never advise anybody to buy registered stock of anything.
I couldn't understand what registered was until a couple months ago when I asked like somebody. I'm like, so it's like a birth certificate for a goat, and they're like, yeah, pretty much. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it is, but it's a good way to trace genetics and bloodlines and all that. But again, unless you're showing goats, it don't mean nothing. There's this goat in South Africa. It's like $5.6 million goat. It's
more money than sense, man. That
it is. But again, the kid, don't register stock.
So, all right,
kind of sexy.
I don't know. I was gonna just say Alpine. I feel like Alpine would be good for your region.
Yeah, I'm looking at Alpine and Boars and stuff. Yeah.
Don't harass me about this, but why the appeal for goats? Like I don't see any. I mean,
I don't think 90% of the people that get goats should own goats. I love
it. What's your purpose in getting? I mean, I guess you can get goat milk. You can eat the goats, sure, if you want, but.
So here's why I'm interested in goats. Obviously, Grant has his reasons, but
Grant's interested in everything.
The weeds that I have on my property, I need something that's aggressive that will eat them. And in the springtime, before they get the sharp seeds on them, goats, sheep will actually also eat them. But
I was like, sheep give you.
I would rather get goats because they're more likely to just eat everything, take it all down.
Goats are browsers, sheep are grazers, like cows.
I've heard goats are depending on how you interact with your goats, they can actually be like dogs.
Yeah, they are. They're super smart. They're super emotionally intelligent. They really are. And
I would when I went hiking with goats last year, it made hiking a lot more enjoyable because it was probably like hiking with a dog, but
the
dog isn't eating all the food and getting up on rocks and logs. And
did you say you went hiking with a goat?
With goats, yeah.
I zoned out for long enough.
You need to look up that goat.
Caught up with me, and I was like, "Hold up, what?"
Yeah, so this lady sells pack goats, and these goats, they had like little
make
saddles on
There are
them, and
special
it was
saddles
awesome.
that slide to their movement. They can hold like 60 to 80 pounds per goat.
I didn't
No,
know
You
that
can,
was
go,
a
you
thing.
can go out in the wilderness with like
It's a
20
quarter
goats.
of their body weight.
Yeah.
I
60
didn't
to
know that
80
was a thing.
pounds.
That's 80. There's some big does. Yeah.
Just
That's
like,
a horse.
Bro, that's just a goat. It's just a big goat. It might be closer to 30 to 40. I might have been wrong. But yeah, I like goats.
my brother-in-law has goats, and like we go down there and visit, but I'm like, they
They ain't for
milk
everybody.
them.
They ain't for everybody at all.
They're not eating
And
them. He's just using them just to keep
maintain
from having cut grass.
maintain them as grass and use them as tax write-off. Essentially.
Oh yeah, I guarantee he's not taking advantage of that.
Probably not. Most people don't.
Oh man,
Like,
can I write off that chicken that I killed this morning?
no, I don't know if you can write him off as a loss. You can write off his food though.
It was natural causes. I
Put it
killed
down
him
on paper. I
naturally.
don't care.
A stick. He got hit with a
Tax
stick.
fraud. You had a really big thunderstorm, and he just. But yeah,
Super rare for Montana
I love goats.
this time of year.
Every plate, I particularly, the goat meat industry is the largest, fastest growing meat sect there is.
I've never had
Period.
goat.
If you have goat, cook it slow. Don't cook
Yeah,
it fast. Cook
brine
it
it, right?
slow. Not necessarily, but you just got to cook it slow. It's
Slow,
even
slow.
with grass fed meat. There's not a lot of fat in it. You cook it slow.
I
You
like
don't
fat
cook it
on
hot
meat.
and fast. It's just you cook it slow. Makes good barbecue. I sell it to Nigerians, Asians, Hispanics. They like that. And for me,
You
it's
sell
only-
the cooked meat, or you just sell the goats?
I sell the goats. I'll
Makes
just sell them
sense, okay.
goats. And
If you sell it to like a Muslim culture, for it to be like halal, a priest type needs to do the slaughtering of the goat. It's not like you can kill the goat and give them the meat for them to make
They
it
would
like
have to
halal.
take
Like
it
it's like
to
a
someone
process.
who can
It's
do
like
that.
it's like a religious ceremony thing.
Like I know Africans, they'll just hang them upside down and slit their throats and then drain them out. That's just what they typically do. But there's not a lot of people who do it. There's not a lot of people they'll raise them as hobbies, and a lot of people raise goats to sell goats to other farmers who have goats. It seems like
Goats to sell goats.
Exactly.
You're the goat supplier.
So I just had to think that one through.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people really try to go to the market of finding that niche of the ethnic market to sell goats to. Sheep, they're more expensive. I think they're finickier than goats, but goats, like he said, they're harder on.
goats too.
They're
I'll
harder.
tell you
on
what I
flesh.
like about certain sheep is that they're not so crazy, and I
don't
love
know,
a
man.
good curl on a sheep. I
Rams.
love a good curl.
I'll send a picture in the Telegram if y'all will check it tonight of the bucks I'm picking up this weekend. It's like a 300-pound goat. Its horns are like a foot long on each side, 2 feet long on each side. It's huge.
300.
It's a beast.
Goat.
This thing could pick me up by his horns and run. But they're hard on brush. Every property we've ever had has had an insane amount of brush, briars, kudzu, just a lot of invasives that you want to keep it under control. And I love them. I think most
Roundup will
people.
take care of all of it.
You see, it won't take care of kudzu. It just won't take care of kudzu.
It
Name
will. It will.
that goat Roundup.
Before I learned about Monsanto and all that stuff, I used Roundup to kill everything.
I think a ton of people who get goats and say, "Oh, my goats are
I think
crazy."
you're entitled
Don't
to a
feed
settlement
them
there,
enough.
Jeremy.
Probably.
Hey, is that why you're bald?
Dude,
Sorry.
dick move.
I do it to I do it to my dad all the time. I got to. I'll probably be bald.
Jeremy
one day
ain't your
too,
dad.
So. Anyway,
It's all right. That's all right. I hope you end up bald too.
I probably will. It just my hair. I have such fantastic hair. I'll probably just be bald one day. I feel like it's.
I was
inevitable.
fantastic before it fell out.
knowing Grant, he's probably it's gonna go bald like in like a fire in like his wall tent or something, just like some crazy, or like a goat ate his hair or something. I don't know.
Oh, that would be.
That would be funny though.
Mm.
But yeah, I feel like
Anyways.
most people who get goats. Let me finish. Most people who get goats don't need goats. I'm sorry,
Kick him out.
I just don't feel like they need them at all
You're right. They don't.
because they don't know how to properly maintenance them. They don't know how to properly feed them. If your goat is getting out, is because they don't like it the inside. The only goats I've ever had get out because they're hungry and they want something to eat. Like they'll just straight up jump the fence because she's hungry. I'm like, okay, I'll feed you. Let's go back in.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All
All
right.
right, thanks, Jeremy.
Yep. Right there. Yeah, do we like donuts on those platforms? I think I'm on Twitter there too, and that Threads thing, which it's garbage.
I thought
It's a
they threw
little-
that away. They closed that down.
Threads, no, it's still there. It's basically
TikTok,
political
Instagram,
Twitter.
YouTube. Do we like donuts on
Yeah,
all those things?
homesteading, chickens, gardening stuff.
Enthusiasm.
Lots of that. I lost 1,000 followers from after I posted that video about my dad. Just like, 'cause I thought it was kind of weird.
Well,
Maybe
Heartless bastards.
coincidence. I don't really
Fucking-
care. I mean, but it was just kind of very odd
Yeah.
timing. Like it was like cause and effect, maybe, or just weird timing. I don't know. Anyway, I'll post more stuff this year. Did you fall out of your chair?
fuck,
Sorry.
Grant. Jeez.
Sorry about that.
Too busy with IBC.
Say your stuff.
Yeah, I've been taking videos at the farm, befores and afters. I haven't posted any of them. I've got about 30. Yeah, that's about it. I still get
You know,
totes.
when you take a shit, that's a good time to post those
To
videos.
post,
Uh,
edit, and post.
yeah. Okay.
A shit post. Get it?
Yeah. Okay.
And what's your title handle thing? Whatever.
It's like
username?
different on every
Homestead
single
of
one.
Pain. It's the
And
same.
sometimes
He
it's
changes
sometimes it's Payne Homestead.
it. No,
All right, we'll figure it out maybe next time.
you keep changing it.
Oh, there it is. Homestead of Pain. That's right.
Sometimes. All right. I'm Matt DeRocher. This is what I do. FarmUpLife.com. We're a traveling hosted family podcast, interviews, men's forum, famous farmers, and farm tours. I also had a TikTok video that was like gaining popularity and then not done.
Mm-hmm.
It's about mushrooms. I was just collecting spent mushroom blocks and throwing them in my chickens, and I don't know.
Isn't it funny how
whatever.
that happens? It's like, ooh, like it's gonna go, and like, nope.
I was very encouraged, and then whatever.
Those
TikTok
dopamine
sucks.
hits,
All right.
man, they were like through the roof.
All right. Thanks, guys, for being here, and thank you, everybody, for listening.
It's
We're
good to be back.
coming back
It
Welcome
was a good
back.
talk. It was a good chat. I enjoy these chats.
once we figured out your microphone. It got marginally better, but
Yeah,
Well-
I was still here.
we'll be back with something at some time.
Right.
All right.
Uh,
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.